In Beijing, a BYD vehicle owner tragically lost control while attempting to drift his BYD Yuan in a bustling district. The vehicle veered into the right-hand guardrail and both rear wheels were dislodged and flung from the car. Some comments on social media have humorously described this incident as BYD's dark technology, with wheels detaching autonomously upon loss of control. Others speculated that the emergency wheel detachment might have acted as a makeshift brake, potentially preventing a worse outcome. They joked that this safety feature could only be activated by a reckless driver. Cases of wheels detaching while BYD vehicles are in motion are actually quite common. Let's review a few more cases. First off, we have the BYD Song Plus from Shenyang, Liaoning. According to eyewitnesses, there was no collision, no accident, yet the rear wheels still fell off on its own. The second case involves another Song Plus, also alone at the intersection, and the third case, still a Song Plus, shows no signs of collision from the phones, but the wheel hub itself flew out. The fourth case involves a BYD Tong, a more expensive model, but the rear suspension broke in the same way. The owner also said that there was no collision. He was just driving at 30 kilometers per hour on a rural path when it suddenly broke. Wheel detachment incidents during BYD vehicle operation are primarily attributed to the highly criticized independent 3-link rear suspension design. Unlike other automakers designing cars at the same level, which generally use aluminum alloy links, BYD has opted for cheaper cylindrical steel 3-link on the chassis of its flagship model Han, and extensively on the other models like Song and Tong. Compared to aluminum alloy, the steel 3-link suspension is weaker and heavier. The thin steel links appear more prone to breaking compared to the robust aluminum arms, earning the derisive nickname Chopsticks suspension among users. BYD is really bad. Now that it's selling well, it has started to cut corners. Look at the rear suspension of the 2020 BYD Chin. This 3-link is made of iron and not even as thick as my thumb. Let's not even talk about handling or comfort. Even safety is not ensured here. Look at the 2018 BYD Chin's rear suspension. Although it also uses a 3-link structure, these swing arm parts are all integrally stamped. They are made of sufficient materials and look safe enough. What's more infuriating is that the latest 2022 model of the BYD Chin still uses blade batteries. The car is more expensive, so shouldn't the suspension use better materials? Look here, the suspension link is still not as thick as a finger. This is what you call bad, really bad. This is why so many BYDs just have a minor tail bump and their chopstick suspension breaks and the rear wheels give way. BYD, look at the suspension. 1 link, 2 links, 3 links. How is this different from a toy car? Is this material okay for a car? It's thinner than chopsticks. Let's open it up and look at the materials inside. This is a crash beam. So thin, it's not even as thick as our kitchen knife. The radiator support is made of plastic. Look at the fender here. This is a new car, see? It's already showing signs of rust, though never been disassembled. This is a so-called pride of domestic goods. The chopstick suspension isn't the only aspect under fire. Axle failures in BYD vehicles have also become a focal point of public criticism. On April 17th, a video from Zhejiang showed a BYD Dolphin making a routine left turn when suddenly its front axle broke, making the vehicle inoperable. In February, a single vehicle accident in Zhejiang's Haining involved a high-end BYD Yangwang U8 colliding with a pedestrian and vehicle barrier. The Yangwang U8 was left tilted with its right front tire detached, a clear case of axle failure. The incident involving the luxury off-road vehicle, priced at over $1,000,000, sparked intense discussions among car enthusiasts. Images posted online show severe damage to Yangwang U8, with suspension components and axle parts including the steering knuckle visibly broken. Meanwhile, the barrier was only slightly deformed, leading to speculations that the barrier must have been extra sturdy. Since its market launch in September 2023, the Yangwang U8 has been a prominent figure in the luxury car market due to its impressive performance and features. Its sales soared, topping the charts in January with 1,652 units sold, making it a flagship among new energy SUVs. However, the recent axle failure has dampened its popularity, raising concerns about the quality and safety of this high-end model among some consumers. Experts attribute BYD's frequent axle failures to deficiencies in material and structural design. However, BYD's public relations response has been vague. They suggest that the Yangguan U8's advanced technology and quad motor setup complicate the wheel assembly, increasing safety considerations in collision scenarios and allowing for a wheel sacrifice for safety possibility. The so-called wheel sacrifice for safety strategy, from a collision mechanics perspective, is designed to prevent the wheel from intruding into the cabin during a crash. This technology has been used by Volvo for some time, though it's unclear if it has been implemented in the Yangguan U8 as BYD has not officially promoted or stated this. The wheel sacrifice for safety strategy includes both active and passive approaches. The active approach involves deliberately disconnecting the axle to minimize damage, whereas a passive approach occurs when the connection fails naturally, leading to a break, and the situation is then managed through public relations strategies. Most electric vehicles in China currently experience the latter situation, primarily due to issues with weight and material strength. Analysis of several BYD axle brake incidents leading to wheel detachment indicates that these often involve breaks in the steering knuckle, likely due to metal fatigue. However, regarding BYD's wheel detachment issues, BYD CEO Wang Changfu has his own interpretation. If you're driving this car and the front wheels burst, you can either throw it away or put it in the trunk and keep driving. If you're busy, just drive for 3 months. If not, take it to the shop for repair. If you're really busy, then the rear wheel bursts too. No problem, you can still drive. As long as the car is moving, it's stable. Someone commented and said, "No wonder BYD often loses wheels. They apparently had this black technology all along, not afraid to lose them." Recently, the BYD Fangchengbao Leopard 5 sparked controversy during an off-road test when a steering rod broke as it was running up a slope, heavily impacting the battery pack. While it's unclear if the battery was damaged, the steering rod was certainly broken. By contrast, when Great Wall Motors Tank 300 ran up the same slope, it managed to do so more smoothly, highlighting the disparity between traditional beam and driveline designs compared to Fangchengbao Leopard's newer decoupled connection structure. This also underscores the fundamental qualities expected of a robust off-road vehicle. Fangchengbao Leopard, which is BYD's middle to high-end off-road vehicle brand, launched its first model, Leopard 5, as a super hybrid rugged SUV last year, attracting significant attention. According to its official website, the Leopard 5 starts at 289,800 yuan, while the Tank 300 is priced at 226,800 yuan, indicating a lower cost-performance ratio for the Fangchengbao Leopard compared to the Tank 300. Not only are there issues with material shortcuts, but BYD's passive safety systems also show significant vulnerabilities. On April 22nd, a BYD Qin was involved in a collision in Liaoning. Despite severe damage to the car, the airbags failed to deploy. This is the BYD Qin. The front crash beams are gone. Both side airbags didn't deploy. This is no other than our proud BYD Qin EV450. Look, this is a passenger airbag, and here's the driver's completely intact. So what's even the use of airbags then? This is a new car, just 1 month old, and it's already a write-off. One of the major concerns that persists is the issue of electric vehicles catching fire, a problem that appears to be growing as temperatures rise with the approaching summer. Recently published videos have shown several instances of BYD vehicles spontaneously igniting. Despite ongoing criticisms of its quality being a leader in China's electric vehicle industry, BYD still achieved sales of over 3 million vehicles last year, surpassing Tesla to claim the global title for new energy vehicle sales. However, due to a slowdown in electric vehicle demand and intense price competition, BYD's net profit and revenue in the first quarter of this year plummeted compared to the previous quarter. According to a report by CNEV Post, BYD revealed on April 29th that its net profit for the first quarter was 4.57 billion yuan, around $631 million, a 10.6% increase year over year, but a 47.3% decline from the fourth quarter of 2023. The company's revenue was 125 billion yuan, $17 billion, nearly a 4% increase year over year, but a 30.6% decrease month on month. One of the primary reasons for the quarterly decline in revenue and net profits was a drop in car sales. According to BYD's data, the company sold 626,263 new energy vehicles in the first quarter, a 13.4% increase year over year, but a 33.7% decrease from the fourth quarter of 2023. The sales downturn was particularly sharp in January and February. In January, BYD sold 201,000 vehicles, marking a roughly 40% drop from the previous month and falling behind Geely Auto among domestic brands. February saw an even more severe decline, with sales dropping to 121,700 vehicles, a 36.5% decrease year over year, and a 39.4% drop from the previous month. This placed BYD behind Chery Automobile's 138,000 vehicles, raising questions about BYD's dominance in the new energy vehicle sector. For the first time in 17 months, BYD lost its leading position in the car market. In response to the sales decline, on February 19, BYD launched the Qin Plus Glory Edition and the Destroyer 05 Glory Edition, both starting at a reduced price of 79,800 yuan. This price reduction, which was between 20,000 to 22,000 yuan, lower than previous versions, significantly boosted BYD's sales, allowing it to reach the 300,000 vehicle sales mark again in March and achieve its first sales peak of 2024. However, BYD's significant price reduction also triggered a wave of price cuts across the Chinese electric vehicle market. Moreover, the price cut was partly due to BYD's excessively high inventory pressure, which dealers found increasingly harder to bear. Let's take a look at the real inventory of BYD. This is just one dealership in a fourth-tier city. Their monthly sales are probably less than 100 units. Look at the inventory in this yard. It's full of their new cars covered in dust, and all are supposedly hot-selling models. They tell you that they are lowering prices to make cars cheaper for consumers, but the real reason is the inventory is just too large. Dealers can no longer bear such high pressure. They tell you that it's very hot selling. The sales have skyrocketed after the price cut, and many of the hot-selling models have already sold out. But look at this yard full of new cars, all covered in dust, a sight that stretches endlessly. There are probably a few hundred cars in stock in this yard. You tell me, how big is this inventory ratio? Whether you say it's 4 or 5, it actually reflects their current inventory status. Sadly, they are still deceiving consumers by claiming that the market is hot, saying there's no stock of their hot-selling models. So what are these cars then? The price reduction involved models that accounted for over 75% of BYD's total sales, with reductions ranging from 10% to 18%. However, it is worth noting that BYD's gross margin is around 20%, and its net profit margin is about 5%. With such substantial price cuts, it is questionable whether BYD can maintain its profitability. As reported by Reuters, the price war in China's electric vehicle market has been long-lasting and intensifying, with over 40 car brands involved. A recent Goldman Sachs research report predicted that the profit per unit for China's new energy vehicles this year will be lower than in 2023, and further price cuts could potentially push the industry's profitability into the negatives. In an interview with Chinese media, BYD disclosed that its sales target for 2024 is to grow by 20% from 2023, reaching 3.6 million units. Given the intense competition in the Chinese new energy vehicle market, many doubt BYD's ability to meet this target. Additionally, BYD's major competitor Tesla has also been active recently. Tesla CEO Elon Musk made a sudden visit to Beijing on April 28th, meeting Chinese Premier Li Qiang at the Dayutai State Guest House. It is noteworthy that Li Qiang, who was then the party secretary of Shanghai, played a crucial role in facilitating Tesla's establishment in China. According to Reuters, Musk's primary objective for the visit was to promote Tesla's full self-driving FSD software in China. The Wall Street Journal, citing sources familiar with the matter, reported that Chinese authorities had preliminarily approved this. However, official confirmation from Beijing and Tesla is still pending. On the day of Musk's visit, Chinese authorities announced that Tesla had passed 4 automotive data security tests, making it the first foreign car manufacturer to receive approval from China's data security regulator. According to Chinese media outlet The Paper, this could pave the way for the use of Tesla vehicles in government, state-owned enterprises, and military facilities where there had typically been restrictions on Tesla vehicles. Amid the rising trade tension between the US and China, the warming ties between Tesla and Beijing stand out prominently. Under the shadows of declining sales, fierce price wars, and significant layoffs, Tesla's stock price has continued to fall. Therefore, the introduction of Tesla's FSD technology into the Chinese market is critical for revitalizing the company's fledgling performance. Tesla launched FSD in 2021, seen as a potentially major revenue generator, yet has not been deployed in China. As Tesla's second largest market, there are over 1.7 million Tesla owners on China's roads. These vehicles not only represent an untapped revenue source for FSD, but also generate valuable driving data. If the Chinese government allows the deployment, it could significantly boost Tesla's future sales in China. For China, integrating the world's most advanced autonomous driving technology into its automotive market could likely accelerate the development and adoption of domestic high-end autonomous driving technologies. It also provides an opportunity to refine the regulatory framework for autonomous vehicles, ensuring China's leading position in setting relevant global standards, thereby benefiting Chinese companies. Additionally, China's Tesla's owners have long anticipated the FSD technology. Allowing sales of FSD in China could also stimulate the currently weak consumer market, boosting economic activity in the automotive sector. Furthermore, it would demonstrate China's openness to foreign investment. However, this warm current between Tesla and Beijing might not be good news for BYD. First, BYD's investment in achievements and technological innovation seem to fall behind Tesla. Tesla not only continues to innovate in fundamental electric vehicle technologies like battery and power systems, but also leads in autonomous driving technology. In contrast, although BYD has made advances in battery technology, its development in high-end fields like autonomous driving is relatively slow, which may limit its competitiveness in the future EV market. Secondly, BYD's rapid expansion and growth in sales mask several underlying issues worth noting. For instance, the frequency of spontaneous combustion incidents is significantly higher compared to other international electric vehicle manufacturers, including Tesla. This makes it challenging for BYD to gain international consumer approval other than its competitive pricing. Therefore, BYD's rapid growth largely relies on price competition and market subsidy policies. In the Chinese market, BYD can utilize its cost control advantages to offer relatively low-priced electric vehicles, attracting many consumers looking for value for money. However, this price-driven strategy could negatively impact the brand's image and product quality in the long term. Although a low-price strategy can quickly boost sales in the short term, it may not be sustainable as the electric vehicle market matures and consumer demands evolve. Besides Tesla, BYD also faces competition from numerous domestic brands. In recent years, the rapid development of Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers like Li Auto, NIO, and XPeng, along with emerging players like Xiaomi and Huawei, have become strong competitors for BYD. In March, BYD chairman Wang Changfu predicted that the brutal elimination race is imminent for China's electric vehicles. He stated at a forum in Beijing, "After 20 years of development, the Chinese electric vehicle industry has entered a periodic adjustment phase." All in all, whether it is a fierce domestic price war or the slowdown in sales due to economic weakness, as a leading electric vehicle manufacturer in China, BYD is facing severe challenges in 2024.